Attacking aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads. Before you go to bed, watch Skyfire News and look at these unbelievable encounters with aliens and UFOs. What you don't know can hurt you. Better turn on Skyfire News. WTFs are WTF moments from the study of UFOs with Skyfire News. We got mysterious deaths, people died in weird ways while looking into attacking aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads. Before you go to bed, watch Skyfire News and look at these unbelievable encounters with aliens and UFOs. What you don't know can hurt you. Better turn on Skyfire News. Of Ufology, let's go, Hellyer. Skyfire News, got your back, babe. WTF, these are WTF moments from the study of UFOs with Skyfire News. Yeah, we got mysterious deaths. People died in weird ways while looking and attacking aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads before you go to bed. Watch Skyfire. This is Skyfire News, from the study of UFOs with Skyfire News. We got mysterious deaths. People died in weird ways while looking into tech, hacking aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads before you go to bed. Watch Skyfire News. Look at these unbelievable encounters with aliens and UFOs. What you don't know can hurt you. Better turn on Skyfire News. WTF, these are WTF moments from the study of UFOs and Skyfire News. We got mysterious deaths, people dying in weird ways while looking into tech and aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads before you go to bed. Watch Skyfire News and look at these unbelievable encounters with aliens and UFOs. What you don't know can hurt you. Better turn on Skyfire News. Crazy moments of Ufology. Let's go, Hellyer. Skyfire News, got your back, babe. WTF, these are WTF moments from the study of UFOs with Skyfighter News. Yeah, we got mysterious deaths, people died in real ways while looking and attacking aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads before you go to bed. Watch Skyfighter News. And look at these unbelievable encounters with aliens and UFOs. What you don't know can hurt you. Better turn on Skyfighter News. It's safe, y'all.
There have been so many crazy moments of ufology. Let's go over y'all. Skyfighter News got your back. WTF, these are the WTF moments from the study of UFOs with Skyfighter News. We had mysterious deaths, people died in weird ways while looking into tech and aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads before you go to bed. Watch Skyfighter News and look at these unbelievable encounters with aliens and UFOs. What you don't know can hurt you. Better turn on Skyfighter News. Be safe, y'all.
What is up, everybody? This is Tupacabra with Skyfighter News. We got Red Panda in the mix as well. We're talking tonight about what the F Ufology Moments. You might have heard one of the 38 songs we played about it right before the show. I hope you guys liked it. I saw that Matt liked it. We got some music fans in the mix. Suno has upgraded to 3.5, so check that out if you want to get early access. These are the craziest moments of ufology as far as we could tell. We wanted to give you guys something juicy, something to chew on. Clips are the best way to do it, I think, and so we gathered the best that we could find about these crazy ass moments. As the song suggested, we have some strange statements by some government insiders. What's going on there? We have mysterious deaths. This is gonna be a touchy subject for some, or all of us if we care about human life. The mysterious deaths is going to be rough, but it happened. We should talk about it. And then finally, we have unbelievable encounters. Thank Midjourney for this guy creeping us out, whatever that is. But yeah, dude, this is going to be crazy. I love it. I love the topic. I love the idea. Red Panda Koala, get yourself in the mix over here, and let's get into What the F Ufology Moments. Shall we say what's up to the chat? Red, you're muted.
What up? How's it going?
There he is. There he is. Going good, man. Going good. Let's say what's up to the chat while you guys are here. First in line, Pizza Slayer. Love seeing you. We got Coin Exchange. Rob the Great One. Thanks for being here, man. Arden Paranormal. She should be a mod. I thought I sent her an invite for one. Lil Pop-Tart. Like if you came from UAP Mike show. UAP Mike crushing it over there on his own little StreamYard. Got his own channel going on. We were working on this show. We didn't get a chance to stop in there. I personally didn't. But I heard the live chat. I heard the live chat was kind of lit. TBD on that one, maybe. All right. Kira, finally catching it live. Hope we don't disappoint you today. It should be pretty cool. Woo! Says Derek Daughtry. Derek, you the man here every day. Derek doesn't have a Twitter account, so this is how he interacts. If you guys are on Twitter right now or X, hop over to the YouTube. Give it some love. A lot of people aren't on X. It's a minefield out there. So show them what it's all about. Let them know that YouTube's popping too. UFO Intros Kimball in the mix. That's a bad kitty. We know who she is. Hello, glad you're here. Good to see you. We got our mod, Heather Birdie. Heather Birdie helped out with these graphics. She did the police graphic. When you see it, you're going to believe it. Hello again, all from Terrestrial Material. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I got to check out your submission to the Spaces contest. Saw you submitted one. Got to check it out. We got Smoking Alien Heart, Peace Heart from Ocean. I see what you're laying down, and I like it. Let's get weird. It's a UFO show. I mean, we're getting weird. Sup, chat? Casual Links. What's up, Casual Links? By the way, it's 105 degrees where I'm at. Good cosmos to everybody. Yeah. When I hear Cosmo or Cosme anything, you know what I think of?
Have patience on me. Don't give up on me. I'm on cosmic time.
I hate Skyfire News. I hate Chupacabra. I fucking hate Red Panda. And I hate Heather. Like, I genuinely hate them.
Calm down, Lou. It ain't that serious, I don't think. Unless I'm talking shit, then I guess we can get pretty serious in the mix. But Red, I'm loving the idea of the show, how we're breaking it down and breaking it up. What do you want to hit up first? What are you thinking about? Crazy statements? Yes.
Yeah, I think in the order of the thing we have
Red said stick with the plan.
We have statements and then unbelievable encounters and then mysterious deaths. It's just easier that way.
I love it. I love it. Strange statements about UFOs and aliens by government insiders and other people who should know. So this, let's start it from the top. Get this. First in line.
I feel like
Obama.
If I was the president, and it's unlikely that that is ever going to happen.
You never know.
If I was the president...
It was unlikely that I was going to be president.
The moment I was inaugurated, my hand would just, it'd still be hot from touching the Bible, and I would immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and the UFOs, and I'd go through everything to find out what happened.
Right.
Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president. That's the first thing.
That and the Man Show.
We might have to just pause it here and there just to avoid whatchamacallit. But yeah, so starting off pretty normal. This isn't even like the main one. We have another Obama clip, right? That's pretty wild. But this one is still, I think, pretty weird, bro. Let's listen.
What you would do.
The
aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial
The eyes say
expressions here.
fear.
Every twitch, everything. And
Thanks,
say,
Mike.
Of course. So did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
All right.
Damn.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Are you saying?
Really are. You know what?
Let's go back
Red,
one little second.
before we do that, we got to say it's Memorial Day. Got to say thanks to all the veterans out there, all the people in the armed service. We appreciate you, everything you do, including whistleblowers and people in and not in the UFO community. Thanks for everything. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Now we're back to Obama.
Let's listen to this middle part again, because, bro, I think I'm with Casual Links on this. I think he's telling the truth here. There's some weird there's some weird energy going on here.
Because that's the first thing that you would do. The aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, there are a lot.
I'm just saying, slide 9. They can influence world leaders, bro.
Hell yeah, they can. The aliens exercise strict control. I don't doubt it for a second. What a weird statement. Weird.
And that's actually kind of corroborated in one of our later things we're going to be covering too. That's a little bit down the line. But yeah.
Talking about Michelle Obama. No, we're playing. Yeah, that was super strange. Okay, so that's Obama on Kimball. We got Kimball on the mind. Okay, we got coming up next, Obama.
Do you have a question for our guest this evening?
So yeah, now this is so remember the first one was 2015 before 2017. Right now this is 2021, so now we're 3 years into the post Tic Tac Lou Elizondo world, right? And this is pretty wild, and I think of all the presidents, this is the most intense statement, right? So let's just break it down too. Obama isn't just no one, right? He was the president during OSAP ATIP, right? He was also his chief of staff was John Podesta, who was the campaign manager for Hillary Clinton, who TTSA was basically setting up their whole rollout to go hand in hand with Hillary Clinton.
And he's the person who Tom DeLonge was emailing that got released during those DNC email leaks that confirmed that Tom DeLonge was actually talking to insiders like he said he was.
Correct. And the way when it was reported that he was talking to Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, but I think those emails technically at the time Tom DeLonge wasn't emailing Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, he was emailing Barack Obama's chief of staff, the current president at the time. Right? So I feel like that's kind of missed in the whole timeline of things, right? So that's pretty huge in my opinion.
No, that is.
And yeah, what do you think? I think this is the best president statement so far. Let's listen to the juicy part again.
Run it back.
Yeah, and can we talk about real quick the Obama movie they made? Remember that Leave the World Behind?
Oh, the Obama production company.
Yeah.
Yes, the Obama-owned production company, Leave the World Behind, with Julia Roberts and
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. There he is. There's another actor in it too. Forgot his name. Can't pronounce it. Won't try. There is something to do with that. I mean, why is he making movies about the end of the world on Netflix? It was so salacious. Remember, the kids had these T-shirts on that said NASA and Obey. Remember that?
Yeah.
All the weird symbology that was in there. What's up, Obama? What's going on? You dropping symbology in Netflix movies? He was gonna option. Well, actually, he did option. His production company, optioned the rights to the Betty and Barney Hill. I got that mixed up. Betty and Barney Hill film. They were going to make that. They were going to remake one. And then they just kind of got washed out. But it was a big deal for a while when they found out his production company optioned it. So.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's Obama. Obama's dropping statements. Another strange statement from an insider. The president. Maybe one of the best. A lot of people have faith in him. They trusted him with disclosure. If disclosure would have happened under Obama, where do you think we'd be right now, Red?
I don't know. Maybe the world would have already ended.
Ooh, okay. Fair enough. World-ending information came through a Canadian defense minister, former Canadian defense minister, Paul Hellyer. Remember this?
Phoned my nephew and said, give me the general's telephone number and give him a heads up that I'll be calling. Because I thought I should check with him personally and hear his voice and what he had to say. And I had met him, so I knew who it was. And So I phoned him, and before I could even say, hello, how are you, what's the weather like, he said, every word is true and more. Those were his opening words. And he spent 20 minutes telling me the and more, within the limit of his oath. I guess it went as far as he could. And he said, and this was the most important thing he said during that period, was that there have been face-to-face meetings between United States officials and visitors from other star systems, period. No equivocation. And so with that assurance, and my own conviction based on what I already knew, I said, I'll go to the meeting. And at the meeting I said that UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying overhead. And that was it.
And it's been reported in a couple interviews that you've mentioned there's a federation of alien species. Do all of the alien species kind of work?
Before he answers this question, I want to remind everybody that this is Paul Hellyer, former Canadian Defense Minister, who's talking right now. He was in charge of a lot of stuff in Canada. All right, he wasn't the sanitation guy. This is the defense minister. All right, and he's over here talking about face-to-face meetings. He doesn't look like he's bullshitting, and he kind of looks like he's in that stage of his life where either you start shoplifting for no reason, for the thrill of it, or you start just telling the stuff you know. And I'm going to go with the latter. This is Paul Hellyer, former
I will be
Canadian
honest
Defense
though,
Minister.
when I looked into this a few years ago, I kind of got the vibe that like a lot of the stuff he was out there touting as fact, he had like learned by reading UFO books after leaving office. Do you ever get that vibe?
Yes. I mean, he's saying some stuff that's kind of wild, bro. Like, how can you not be like, hey, this guy might just be off his rocker a little bit, and he might just be believing what he's hearing. And so, yeah, healthy speculation in this one. Believe it when you see it. But this is, again, the former Canadian defense minister, right? This guy wasn't just someone who seemed like he would just listen to some rumors. Well, how did he make it that far? He failed all the way up from, you know what I mean? I don't think so. Well, some people would disagree. We'll see. I don't know how you guys do
together, or is there warring species that war with each other?
Well, I only know about the Galactic Federation, and I don't know much about it, so I shouldn't talk about it. But they are concerned about what's going on in the world, and they have been working through individuals. They'll pick out a few individuals and visit them, or talk to them telepathically, or send information to them by channeling. I have a very close friend who was writing a second book right now with channeling from a species called the Pesetas. Very few people have heard of it. They have a deal.
See what I mean? This is where it's starting to get a little weird, right?
A whole ass species. You think Doty got to him? Did Doty get to him? Is he going to start talking about Trantaloids?
That they won't interfere. But I think that there's also a loophole if things get bad enough that they would make exceptions. But we can't count on them. I mean, maybe we can count on them, but we shouldn't count on them, because they say, you clean up your act. You're in charge. It's your planet. And if it comes to a dead end, it will be because you let it or made it a dead end. Because it wasn't necessary, and you had everything going. It's one of the best planets.
So he's getting pretty intense with it, huh?
He's criticizing his fellow man for the aliens. Paul, what's that about, man?
In the whole universe, and everybody covets the fact that it's so good, and you have been destroying it. And this is something that we've tried to let you know by various ways over a long period. The individual communications always say, look,
who set up
there
the
are things you've got to do.
Right? 2 different kinds of lighting.
Like, who set it up? Just white balance is the same thing. Also, that angle is fucking crazy.
But
you got Paul Hellyer in the mix. Who recorded this?
They thought they were killing it, though. They're like, we got the 2 angles, bro. But the coloring is so different.
Stop your clear cutting. Stop your fracking. Stop using fossil fuels. Because
see where it went now?
Yes, yes.
This is pretty wild, right?
It is.
So
it's environmentalism through alien profits.
Exactly. Which honestly, that is a running theme in contactees, like protect the planet, blah blah blah. Don't nuke the planet. But again, like I think even with this story, what he's saying, it was from like outside of his capacity as defense minister. This sounds like a recent friend he met at a UFO convention who's writing about interacting with the Pleiadians.
It's fucking Doty, dude. That's, I have a feeling he had a coffee with a Doty and it was all over. We got to bring him in, Doty that is, and see if he knows Paul.
Oh, 100%. I want to talk to Doty.
Yeah.
But so that's the end of that clip. But the reason why we're talking about it again is because Karl Nell, of all people, friend of the show, he was just at the SALT conference and he referenced Paul Hellyer, which even some of the biggest disclosure bros, like, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see this, Stupa? Michelangelo was like, I don't know how I feel about Karl Nell referencing Paul Hellyer at the SALT conference today.
It's crazy. And did you hear what Raphael and Michelangelo? No, I'm playing. So I always love Michelangelo. It's just he has these posts, and sometimes they're wild, but this is a big deal. Paul Hellyer and the Israeli dude, like, you'd think you just write this stuff off, because like we don't talk about it that much. It's it's fun to bring up during these moments, but like, what the hell's going on here?
You know what? You're absolutely right. Why don't we play the Israeli dude first?
You think so?
Yeah, because Karl Nell references both of them. So we could end with that.
Let it ride.
I'm going to have to share my thing real quick.
Oh, I see what's going on.
Okay, ready?
Yep, we're with it.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Amy Eskridge is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years, not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria. Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have...
Any thoughts on that first?
Kind of like he said, kind of sounded like he said retarded general, but yeah, this is wild.
Yeah, and also I forget too, so this guy's kind of like a NASA equivalent, right? Like running that thing over there. But before that, he was in like the military over there, high ranking, for like many years too. The guy they're talking about. They haven't showed him yet. But it's interesting statements.
From the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives.
We got some little Pop-Tart news. It's actually pretty wild. So, Lil Pop-Tart, friend of the show, says, a few hours after posting this clip, yay, parentheses, Kanye West, DM me. What ideas do you have? ? And I gave him a short briefing on UFOs, ETs, and free energy. Shouts out Lil Pop-Tart. He literally briefed Kanye on UFOs.
He's a man of the culture. Lil Pop-Tart. If you guys aren't following Lil Pop-Tart, you're missing the F out. He's about to have his own theme song coming up, so check that out when it drops. We got Tom Hensley in here. A USA ET collab. I think so. I think so.
Former head of a branch of Israel's defense ministry is 87. He was very well respected, at least until now. And he said all this in an interview with an Israeli newspaper in Hebrew, but it's really taken off after parts of it were published in English by the Jerusalem Post today. He says he's come forward now in the hope that his news will be accepted as true. He notes that if he'd made these claims 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized, but now he says, I've got nothing to lose. Well, so far, President Trump has not tweeted about this, though remember a year ago, he did set up the Space Force as the fifth branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. Well, we did ask the White House...
It is pretty wild that Trump didn't acknowledge this at all in a positive, negative, joking way.
Exactly. Right. R.I.P. to the time when Trump had a Twitter account. Before it got... I mean, he does again, but I don't think he's tweeting from that thing.
The Department of Defense and Israeli officials to comment. So far, they have not responded.
That's about it for that one. So that's another one where it's kind of like a Paul Hellyer. It's like, how much of this did you learn in an official capacity, and how much of it was it kind of just like you reading UFO books in your free time? You know what I mean? Same with John Ramirez. I feel that way with John Ramirez too.
Yeah, John said some wild stuff, but I don't think he ever held a position as high as that Israeli guy or as high as Paul Hellyer, right? And by the time it gets there, you think it'd be filtered out. You think you wouldn't find that many gullible people. You think these guys would do their homework. Like I think that I still assume that they did, that they could tell the difference between some stuff. You know, even like Luna and Burchett are like, nah, some of these guys are psyoping, and they don't even know that that's what they're doing. So even they can see through it. By the time you get up to like, you know, the status that these gentlemen had, it's kind of like how'd they slip through being that gullible. But like you say, sometimes you're either saying these guys are so stupid that they didn't see it, you know what I mean? Or they're hiding it. But let's get to what Karl Nell says when he says,
yeah, this was this week, right? There's so much stuff.
Yeah,
the
SALT
time.
conference it just dropped.
It feels already like it was a month ago.
Okay, so who's Karl Nell? Give us a breakdown of who Karl Nell is.
So my understanding is Karl Nell has a long career in the Army. I think Army's Futures Command or something like that, modernizing the Army. And then when the UAP task force rolled around in 2021, which was the group created by Congress to investigate all these UFO claims that David Grush was a part of, right? David Grush, the whistleblower, the reason anyone even knows who he is, right, is because he was part of this task force. Apparently, Karl Nell was also on the task force. So this task force was an interagency task force. So there was a liaison from all these different things. So I believe David Grush was the NRO, National Reconnaissance Office liaison. And I think Karl Nell was like the Army liaison for this. So he was oh
wow.
He was able to look at basically anything you've heard Grush say. He probably had access to like that same stuff. That might be an easy way for the audience. Anything you heard Grush talk about on Rogan at the hearing, Karl Nell was pretty much right there. So he's it seems like they're kind of doing like a wave rollout of whistleblowers. So he first spoke at the Soul Foundation, right? And if people always want to hear from him, they don't hear from him often.
And the Soul Foundation is one of two known academic pursuits of UAP truth and technology, with Galileo Project being from Harvard, and then the Soul Convention or Soul Foundation kind of coming from guys from Stanford, right?
Yes. And Mark Kyle in the chat says, Karl Nell was also supposed to be on a team that found a crashed UFO in the Sudan. That's interesting. I haven't heard the Sudan thing, but I have heard people allude to this because he is on that JSOC. That JSOC thing, I think, is in his resume or something like that. So, and that was something we talked about. That's what they brought up at the Department of Energy hearing. Luna did. Yeah. But either way, he's definitely a mover and a shaker.
Okay.
Right.
And so he pops into SALT. Last person who spoke at SALT was Gary Nolan, who helped found the Soul Foundation from Stanford. So let's hear what our boy Karl has to say.
He replaced Grush. Remember, Grush was supposed to speak there and then had some weird scheduling conflict, and he was the replacement. Here we go.
What evidence have you seen? What was the moment where you developed this level of conviction? Because what you're saying is extremely consequential and very important. And I know that a lot of people here even perhaps may not believe that statement.
We can look at some folks that have very high level access to information, like Paul Hellyer who was the defense chief for Canada, has come out and said the same thing. We can look at Ham Eshed, the head of Israel's, or former head of Israel's Space Force, has said the same thing. Chris Mellon, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Intel, SAPCO, has essentially said the same thing. Lou Elizondo has said the same thing. David Grush has said the same thing. David Grush cleared for presidentially level material. So you're looking at people that are in a position to know this, and they're telling you the same thing. You could take a look at the Gang of Eight in the Senate and in Congress. So there's two members of the Gang of Eight, Marco Rubio and Senator Chuck Schumer, that signed up to the UAP disclosure amendment last year that basically said they're not being told the truth and we need to push forward on that. So that's sort of an overview of some of the data.
Crazy. Crazy. Someone on the Lou Reviews chat called him UAP Mike Pence, and it's stuck with me in my head since then.
That's honestly pretty funny.
It's
That's
really
hilarious.
It's really funny. It's really funny.
UAP Mike Pence, LOL.
Yeah. Now, this guy is substantiating the claims of Isham and of Paul Hellyer, the guys we just showed you. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. He also brings in Lou Elizondo, David Grush, Chris Mellon. These are the core UFO insider group. Karl Nell associates and cites these guys. Interesting. What do you think, Brad?
Again, yeah, so I think Chaim Eshed and Paul Hellyer, I kind of put both of them in like interesting positions, but almost kind of like I got the vibes that maybe boomers that read stuff after the fact. So honestly, Karl Nell citing them is either like a good thing for their credibility or like a bad thing for Karl Nell's, if I'm being honest. Yeah, that's my take on it right now. I'm open to either. With the subject, you never really know what the heck's going on. What about you, Tupa? Oh, you're muted.
I'm good. I don't know. I think Karl Nell's someone to watch. I'm going to keep my eye out here at Skyfire. We'll be continuing to give you the clips and the information necessary. He seems like a guy to watch.
Jesse Michaels said Karl Nell is one of the smartest people he's ever met.
Oh, shit. Okay. And Jesse Michaels is no slouch in the intellectual department himself, so I'm going to take that seriously. We're going to have to get Karl Nell as many clips as possible. We'll watch this guy. You guys watch us.
We're going to get Karl Nell on the show.
We absolutely will. All right, guys, that was Strange Statements. Now, coming up next, we're going to go to, what do you think, Red? Strange Encounters, Unbelievable Encounters, and then from there, we'll end it off on the D word. What do you think?
I believe so.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Because, we got to prep the next segment. In the meantime, you guys are going to see a bumper and hear some music, and we'll get the thing set up.
I have it ready to go on the Canva thing.
Nah, trust me on this one. All right, guys, catch you in 1 minute. Oh, we're back. Okay. When I said 1 minute, I meant 5 seconds, okay? But we'll get in the mix again. Trust me, 1 minute from now.
Let's go, Hellyer. Skyfire News got your back, babe. WTF, these are WTF moments from the study of UFOs with Skyfire News. got mysterious depths. People got in weird ways while we're looking and attacking aliens and alien tech.
All right, we're back. That wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. We're good. We're good. It's the craziest encounters I've ever heard of. All right. The unbelievable encounters. Red, are you with us?
Yes.
Sick. All right, up first. This one you guys have heard of for sure. And if you haven't, you're in for a horrifying treat. This is the abduction recording, right, of Betty and Barney Hill. So what was it, Red? Was it like 1953? When did they get abducted?
I thought it was like 1966.
Holy shit. We got to get our dates right. Guys, we're the source of all this stuff. 1966. Let's see if you're right. 1961. We met right in the middle. Red, we got right. We surrounded it, and then we found it. 1961. Betty and Barney Hill were driving home. All right. And they saw something. Got out. They blacked out. And they went into a hypnotic regression afterwards to figure out what happened to them. And this is the audio from that hypnotic regression. This is Barney Hill. Check this out.
And I try to maintain control so Betty cannot tell I am scared. God, I'm scared.
It's all right. You can go right on, experience it. It will not hurt you now.
Dr. Benjamin Simon began the hypnotic sessions with Betty and Barney Hill on January 4th, 1964. Today, we present to you the raw audio of one of those sessions.
Red, whose voice is that? Nah.
Through the power of hypnotic recollection, Barney Hill embarks on a journey that peels back the layers of his chilling encounter that took place in rural New Hampshire in 1961. Immerse yourself in Barney's hauntingly emotional story.
I'm trying.
You're in deep sleep, you're comfortable, relaxed. This is not going to trouble you. Go on. You can remember everything now.
It's right over my right. God. What is it? And I try to maintain control so Betty cannot tell I am scared. God, I'm scared.
It's all right. You can go right on, experience it. It will not hurt you now.
I got to get my gun.
All right. All right. That's all. Stop. Go to sleep, Steve. You forget now.
Oh,
you
Lord.
forget it now. You've forgotten. Calm now. Relaxed. Deeply relaxed. Deeply relaxed. You will not have to make any outcry. But you can remember it now. Keep remembering. You feel you have to get your gun. This is going to harm you, you felt.
I opened the trunk of my car. Did I get it? Did I get back in the car?
All right. Just keep reasonably calm.
Then I put it in my coat. And then I get out with the binoculars. And it is there. And I look. And I look. And it shifts over. And I think, I'm not afraid. I'll shoot it down if I'm not afraid. And I walk out, and I walk across the road. There it is up there. Oh, God damn it!
Calm down. Calm down. It's there, but you can see it, but it's not going to hurt you. Go on.
Why does
This goes on for a long time. I did not realize how long this was. Terrifying. This is terrifying. Like Arden says, like you got to believe the things that happen to these people, right? You got to do it. And shout out to James Earl Jones. He had a great performance as Barney Hill in this film. You guys can check it out on YouTube if you want. But it's intense. And they perform the scene almost identically. It's wild. Do they ever get to Betty?
close to her? I don't know.
Honestly, I think this one is just
I said only
I think it's a really long clip too.
he was looking over his shoulder.
Oh, I see. The leader was
Bradley.
How did you know the other one was the leader?
Because everybody moved. Everyone was standing there looking at me, but everybody moved to these levers or in the back, or they went to this big board. They looked like it looked like a board, and only this one with the black shiny jacket and the scarf stayed at the window. I'm driving.
Fucking scary, man. Now he's describing the beings, where they were at, what they were doing, what they were wearing. If you guys ever get a chance, check it out. If you guys want to hear the long form of it, we might be able to react to it in a later show. It's a really long clip. But yeah, this is the Betty and Barney Hill audio tape from 1961, and this was a true WTF, what the fudge moment on of ufology. This kind of triggered a lot of stuff too. Crazy.
Where do you fall on hypnotic regression, Tupa?
Half and half. I think half of hypnotic regression might be true, and the other half might be implanted, memories and implanted experiences. That's what I think.
I think that's where I am too, like half and half.
Yeah. Like I had the opportunity to do some hypnotic regression. As you know, I had a weird experience, and I decided not to because the person I talked to about it was like, "Oh, I think I know exactly what happened," and I'm like, and she's like, "Definitely come in. I'm interested now." And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to come in if you have preconceived ideas, because that might like bleed on to me. I'm going to be in a very vulnerable state, very, suggestive. So I say I need to know more about it, but I do believe in hypnosis, and I do believe in the subconscious and the superconscious and all the weird things and the elements that allow hypnosis to work. And so, yeah, it's something to be feared, respected, and not to be messed with, because you could put yourself in a weird state of mind. Happens all the time. Now, we have a mention right here of the Pascagula tapes. And guess what? Some of our fans, some of our viewers are psychic. That's what's happening now. Check this out.
October in the quiet Mississippi town of Pascagula, two local men confronted authorities with a rather bizarre story. Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker told of a strange craft landing near their fishing site and of being taken aboard by three unearthly creatures. The two men were questioned under hypnosis and lie detectors, but their story remained intact. One of the men suffered a nervous breakdown and is still under treatment. Among the skeptics were Ralph and Judy Blum, already at work on a UFO book. With W5 last week, Ralph and Judy returned to Pascagula.
Judy and I stumbled into this book. It came to us to be written. Suddenly we were in a wave of waves. UFOs were being seen across the country again. We were in what they call a flap. And people began experiencing things that they couldn't explain. Something was happening in our skies in the midst of Watergate, Agnew, the energy crisis, the Middle East. Something was happening and people couldn't understand what it was. We spoke about UFOs, but nobody really knew. And then it hit right here where we are. It hit Pascagula. Charlie Hickson entered the news, and we had a book to write.
Something happened October of
In the river.
They say what they saw was the real. They know they were the ones that saw the Pascagula UFO.
We were sitting.
Elvis lived in Pascagula at age 4. What?
We're learning stuff every day.
On the other side of the pier with their feet, you know, over toward the river, fishing in the river. And the fish still wasn't biting, so I told Calvin, I said, well, you know, we might as well go home. But I guess that was when I heard it. It was some kind of zipping sound. And when I turned around, in this area out here, about 40 or 50 feet out there, there was some kind of craft, you know. It looked like it's going to come right onto the ground. But it came on down and hovered about a foot and a half or 2 feet off of the ground. We didn't know what to do, you know. The river behind us and that out there not knowing what it was. So, and then before we had time to really do anything, it seemed like an opening appeared. Toward the end, it was, you know, toward us. And the blue light, it had blue flashing lights as it was, you know, approaching the ground, but then they went out. And when the opening appeared, some source of light came from the inside. It was just almost blinding.
Sheriff Diamond, can you tell me just what happened that night?
No, sir, I can't. All I can tell you is there was 2 men came into the sheriff's department approximately 8:30 and 9 o'clock. They were all excited, upset, wanting to climb the walls, hysterical, crying. That's actually all I know is what happened. As far as me seeing what happened, I don't know.
Of course, we could see them in the oil.
All right, should we go to the next video here? Because he kind of set it up.
Okay, so the sheriff's department talked to these guys, right? Hickson and his little dude, whatever his friend's name was. And they brought him into the interrogation room. They talked to him. And then they secretly left a recording device in there and then left him. And they went back and grabbed the recorder. And what they thought they were going to hear is these guys being like, ha, we're going to trick the sheriff. Ha ha, this is a funny prank. But this is what they heard instead.
Sir? Karl? Yes. No smoke out? No, sir. Okay, come on. We need to get away and let me tell Brian say she's... I'm telling you, man. That's something like that to scare you slowing down to death, you know? Jesus Christ. You hear about something like that, but you can't believe it. Yeah, you hear that. I know.
My apologies. I should have left. I don't know if there was subtitles included in the original video file. That's my bad. But like, I'll let this play. I know it sounds kind of terrible, but what they're doing is they're kind of like crying with each other, and they're comforting each other, and they're consoling each other, and they can't cope with what they had just experienced, what they had just seen. And they describe this creature on the right. That's what they described approaching them. So they were frozen in fear. They didn't know what was going on, and then they began to like have to do things. They were fully abducted. And so what you might be able to catch is the tone and the fear, but you might not be able to catch the words. We'll post the transcription somewhere.
This is an interesting being entity, right? What do you think of it?
It is sufficiently terrifying and alien looking. You know what I mean? I mean, it has 2 arms, 2 legs, but everything else about it is fucking terrifying. Imagine if this thing's coming at you. I mean, you really wouldn't get it. You know, I mean, it's easy to sit here and be like, oh, okay, so whatever, creepy thing. It's like, but it's not fucking Halloween. These guys are fishing. They were fishing. And this thing shows up. Like, really think about it. If you're hanging out with your homie and you're fishing and this thing walks up, maybe it's got flesh tones on it. You can't make out what you're seeing. Is it someone in trouble? Is it a person who's hurt? Is it God forbid, is it like a burn victim or something? Like, no, it's this thing. And now this other experience begins to happen where it's forcing you to do stuff and you can't control it and you're freaking the fuck out because you're faced with something, you're experiencing something new. Yeah, their fear here is palpable. We'll see if we can make out any of this stuff.
What is something the United States can have up there? No, that wasn't done about what we see, though. Not what we see. It's something, and the Air Force and all know it's up there too, see. And this ain't gonna be the only time it's gonna happen again. tell you, this season I'm like, had a heart attack tonight, ain't she? Well, I know. And one down each day. That scared me to death, too, so. I just laying there crying right now. I can't tell you.
Said he feels like he can start crying right now just thinking about it.
Yeah, we both paused at the same time. Yeah, pretty wild. Like you said, it's definitely not like we're gonna punk these cops, dude. They both sound like shook.
They're fucking shook. It's terrifying. I mean, it's these kind of, because it's also the nature of the recording, right? That they recorded it secretly, so these guys didn't know. It's not like they're recording a testimony at their house. They're straight up like in a room, like no. Then to get on the news and stuff, this is it's a strange thing to say around these times, where like your reputation is everything, your word's everything, and these guys here are not pumped about what they experienced. This is the Pascagula encounter,
and this was 1973, correct?
Yeah.
So this is like right after Blue Book closed, and everyone was like, "There's no UFOs." But also in 1973, J. Allen Hynek, former Blue Book head, who went on to create the Center for UFO Studies, they said 1973 was the year of the humanoid. Apparently, there was a lot of humanoid encounters like this.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know what the hell happened that year, but pretty wild.
Here's a fun fact about 1973. That's the year Lou Elizondo was born.
Was it really?
Yeah, it is. I have it on my timeline. Bing, bing, boom, bow, dude. Like, who knew? You know what I mean? What else?
This year my
happened
mom
here?
was born.
Really? Did you know that that's the same year that Jack Sarfati had his SRI meeting with Hal Puthoff and Russell Targ?
Interesting.
Things happen in 1973. 1973. Be on the lookout for that year. Guys, this is the Pascagula audio tape. Up next, we have mysterious deaths. Mysterious and strange things going on around this stuff. We're going to go to one more segment break. We do this so my camera doesn't overheat. So you guys are going to get another minute of music. And we'll be right back with... Oh, I didn't even add it in. Give me 1 second. Well, Red, what do you think? Pascagula encounter. Is there anything like this? Is there more?
The entity, what? So that entity reminds me of the Voronezhev one in like 1988 in Russia. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of it.
Oh, weird. Yeah. Was that the one with the big orb that landed?
Yes. Let me see. Okay, here we go. I found a picture of it.
The Voronezh UFO landing, is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little different. But it looks pretty similar. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Right?
Oh, okay. There's similarities there. A wrinkly
the
kind
one on
of
the left.
outer. Yeah, no neck. No, like the weird facial feature. I mean, that looks like Juggernaut, to be honest, but I'm an 80s baby.
I'm just gonna switch back and forth. Right?
Yeah, I see it. Strange.
1973, same year Elvis was on tour, and Elvis Aloha from Hawaii aired to 2.7 billion people live via satellite, which are owned by RCA, who is owned by GE General Electric. Little pop chart with all the fun facts.
The fun Elvis, Yeezy facts. I love it. I actually really do think it's fucking awesome. All right, so coming up next, mysterious deaths. Guys, get ready. We got 1 minute.
We got mysterious deaths. People died in weird ways while looking into tech, hacking aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads before you go to bed. Watch Skyfire News. And look at these unbelievable encounters with aliens and UFOs. What you don't know can hurt you. Better turn on Skyfire News.
kind of a crazy song style to play for this particular.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, there can't all be hits. Sometimes you're just rolling the dice. I actually had a darker song for this, but I hit the wrong button. So, mysterious deaths. It is happening. It has happened. It continues to happen. Things are weird in and around the UFO topic. We're going to start off with the most recent clip. This is from Julian Dory's show. Darcy Weir speaks on Phil Schneider's
friend
death.
of the show.
Check this. Friend of the show. 2 friends of the show. 2 friends.
And get testimony and all that stuff. And I worked on my very first documentary I ever did was based off of the Phil Schneider testimony. I don't know if you ever looked into this guy.
Phil Schneider, maybe. Let's pull it up.
He was a dude that was hitting like Bigfoot conferences and UFO conferences back in the day in like the early 90s, talking about deep underground military bases and the idea that these were housing clandestine technology. Yeah, the underground. So I did this documentary called The Underground.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and
that's the guy.
That's the dude.
Yeah, I never seen him.
He's famous for like holding up his hand. Joe Rogan is like totally dunked on this guy, like, oh, this guy's, he must have done DMT or something. That's crazy. But yeah, he's famous for like holding up his hand mid lecture, and he's missing like a bunch of fingers on one hand. He said that he got into a battle with aliens. Like, see, he's trying to do up his collar. He can't because he's missing like his pinky and ring finger.
I want what he had.
Julian Dory.
He's a captivating speaker, and you know, at the time I was dating this girl that was like, "Have you ever heard of Phil Schneider?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "He said he got into a battle with underground aliens when they were trying to build a military base." And I was like, "What? What?" Like, just all these mind explosions. I was like, "What? Tell me more." And like,
he's the boy who lived.
Yeah,
yeah.
So he lived to see another day and told these tales. And but I don't think what he said is 100% true.
Right.
I think what happened was some of the stuff he touched on was true, which is that we do have deep underground military bases, and his dad possibly was brought over as a German scientist to work for the American.
Oh, his dad.
His dad was Otto Schneider.
Yeah.
And so I think there is some truth to some of the things that Phil Schneider was discussing.
Whoa.
And whether he killed himself or he got killed, that's what people argue about. Because what happened was, not too long after he was really hitting these lectures, building a grassroots movement, he was found in a motel room with his own catheter cord wrapped around his throat, and he was dead. So,
catheter cord wrapped around his throat.
Well, initially, they didn't see it because of the swelling. They thought it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
No,
Isn't that right?
No, they thought he just died from a heart attack. It was not till
the catheter cord around his neck.
Well, because he was a little bit overweight, and so his throat. Imagine you've got this like.
Okay, so this is my favorite part of Darcy Weir. This is him explaining.
I fucked it up.
As best. Oh, what happened? This is him explaining as best he can how Phil Schneider had 2 chins, and so one of them was covering the cord and no one could see it. It takes him. You'll see.
Real quick, what is a catheter?
A catheter is a cord that connects through your sorry, this is going to be a lot of use, through your urethra, right? That allows you to empty your bladder without having to pee because something has been damaged, right? So, catheter, to pee or urinate into a separate container.
That is.
Am I right? Oh, look, Dorian confirming that thing that goes in the peen. Wow. We have some medical students in the room. Good to have you guys here. If anything goes awry, we won't ask you. Here is Darcy Weir. We're back at it.
From a heart attack. It was not till
the catheter cord around his neck.
Well, because he was a little bit overweight, and so his throat. Imagine you've got this like rubber cord, but then your throat and your under your chin here is kind of like swollen and sitting over top of it.
Oh, he had a couple chins.
He had a couple chins.
Right.
Probably.
That's how it goes.
But I put like the autopsy report and the photos from his autopsy in the documentary. They were given to me by Phil's late wife, Cynthia Dreyer. She just wanted his story to be told. And it's a really crazy story in the UFO community. So I wanted to cover it. But it was not till his body got to the coroner, when they were like literally trying to dress it up for a funeral, the funeral home called the police.
They found the catheter?
They found the catheter. And they were like...
Is this like a micro catheter?
No. It was pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once the police got tapped again, Cynthia Dreyer started, his ex-wife, launched her own investigation and was like, wait a second, this isn't adding up.
Okay, so like this guy, okay, is giving these crazy talks around the country about this UFO experience he had with the deep underground military base coming across aliens. And then they got in a fucking firefight and he lost his fingers and got shot up and lost a couple men in the process. His dad is Otto Schnieder, who was brought over here to work on, you know, all that other weird shit that we don't talk about in this country. And he dies.
That's wild, by the way. I did not know that until this episode.
Yeah, Darcy's dropping fucking facts on this one.
Did you know that?
No, not before Darcy said it. I didn't know it. I mean, that's why I, you know what I mean?
Shouts out Darcy Weir,
credit
bro.
where credit's due, dog. Credit where credit's due. They don't even examine the body close enough to determine if there's a catheter around this guy's neck. Isn't that fucking strange? They didn't even look. Not until the body's at the funeral home getting dressed for the fucking funeral does the what do they call him? The mortician? I don't know. We're just fucking throwing shit. The mortician decide, hey, let's take a look under this guy's chins. And they discover that he's been strangled to death and no one decided to look. To be honest, if I was the mortician there, the funeral home director, I wouldn't have called. I'd have been, this is too fishy. I don't want to be the guy who says this. Good thing I'm not in that position. You don't have to worry about me hiding evidence. But that's the death of Phil Schnieder. Something was definitely spooky about that. There's no shortage of videos on Schnieder you can find of him giving his talks. And in the UFO community, he's kind of like he's referenced a lot. All right, he is. And this is the vibe that I normally get. We can't back up what he said, but he sure died in a strange way. And I think that's where we're at here with the death of Phil Schnieder, mysterious deaths, Skyfire News. If you guys haven't liked the show or the channel or this episode, please drop a like, give that thumbs up. It does a lot for the algorithm. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Twitter, just pop over. Give us a little sub. Let us live a little bit. The death of Phil Schnieder. Coming up next, another 1990s UFOlogy alum. We have the wonderful, the lovely Karla Turner.
I would prefer
Karla Turner. She is bae. You introduced me to her, Red.
Oh, I did? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a W for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just like, wow, she knows her shit. She knows her shit. And so she was about that life. In the 90s, she started to interview UFO abductees. Now, keep in mind, there was no internet forum that she could find easily and go look this up. If you wanted to find hundreds, which she spoke to hundreds of abductees, you had to do your homework. And you had to gain people's trust. And that's what she did. And as she started to talk about it, do we get to hear the song? Our favorite fucking song finally comes back in the mix. Let's go, dude. Let's go.
Oh, we both got it.
The nowadays I'm all about the fatty. You better get some. Too busy hating, they ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. They getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. Yeah, they ain't ready for me. So nowadays I'm all about the fatty.
It's a lovely song. We kept Loop on because it's just fun to have Loop on. But
thank you, Logan. Hell
thank
yeah,
you,
friend of
Logan.
the show.
$2 super sticker. That's awesome, man. And yeah, R.I.P. Karla Turner, at a UFO symposium, at a MUFON symposium. She gave a talk, the top 10 facts about alien abductions. Check this out.
I would prefer to take this opportunity of perspective, which is, of course, the theme of this MUFON symposium, to share with you my list of facts, and then try to take you beyond the fringe of this phenomenon and into the heart of the abduction scenario. Facts. Fact number 1. We do not know with any certainty exactly what these entities may be. Extraterrestrial, interdimensional, terrestrial in origin.
We got another super sticker from Logan, and you guys know the rules.
So nowadays I'm all about the fatty. You better get some. Too busy hating, they ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. They getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. Yeah, they ain't ready for me. So nowadays I'm.
If you're keen-eyed, you might catch a comic book creator estimate of the situation in the background of one of those scenes. He used to be an extra. That is thanks to our friend Logan Black for the other $2 super sticker. We love it. We love it. We haven't heard that song in a minute. It's been a long weekend. Let's get back to Karla Turner. She's talking about we don't know what the origins of these aliens are.
Some combination of all of the above. Something we have yet to even dream of. Fact number 2. At least some of the aliens are liars. Fact number 3. In encounters, the human's perceptions are controlled, as are the human's conscious memories. Fact number 4. False memories can overlay and disguise the actual events of an encounter. Fact number 5. While we report our experiences honestly and sincerely, we are really reporting alien-controlled information to the research community.
Spooky.
Fact number 6. There's a serious element of human involvement in the abduction phenomenon, in addition, of course, to the very real alien participation. Fact number 7. Whatever else it may be, the abduction agenda involves quite physical aims and procedures that tend to belie the idea of a primarily spiritual motivation on the aliens' part. And much of what we see in these procedures goes well beyond the alleged aim of a crossbreeding program. Fact number 8. All of the things that I've described to you so far are part of the aliens' physical aims and procedures. But that isn't all there is to their motivations. The agenda also involves the long-term psychological programming of the abductee. It targets, among other concepts, our social and personal relationships, our sexuality, our political ideas, and our religious and spiritual concerns. Fact number 9.
Real quick, we got a member question. When was this filmed? I think this was 1994, but I'm going to double check. It actually might be closer to 91. I will have to double check.
With their advanced technology, the aliens can create virtual reality scenarios that are usually absolutely real to the perceptions of the targeted abductee. Fact number 10, and this is the last on my short list of facts. It is a fact that the aliens show a mysterious interest in the human soul. Now, this part of the phenomenon is so rarely discussed in public that I don't think we really have a good pool of data to proceed on a serious discussion, but I'd like to bring it up because it is a fact that the interest is there and mysterious, and we should be concerned about it.
Damn. Look at that Skyfire logo just popping in. Yeah, we edited that. Yeah, we put that together for y'all. Check out the Twitter account, go through our media, go to the YouTube account, subscribe.
She's one of my favorites, bro. I think she's on the money with a lot of it.
Dude, all of her 10 facts, they all lasted the test of time. They are still relevant facts. That's why
and they're echoed
the
by
important.
DeLong and stuff, you know.
She was ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
She was ahead of the curve. And how did she pass away, Red?
So she died of some cancer, but what was weird was, I don't know if you know this, she went to the hospital. First, she felt like she was going to die soon. She just, like, felt it. And then she went to the hospital, and I think when she found out, the doctor told her It's like a perfect circle, the tumor or whatever of cancer, and like he's never seen that before. And mind you, this is after she already felt like something weird and bad's about to happen to me. And then she says that the doctor looked at her and said, "If I didn't know any better, an alien would have done this." Not knowing who she was or anything like that, like what, like, you know what I mean? He just kind of said it as like he's never seen a tumor that was this symmetrical. And then basically she died shortly after that.
Holy shit.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
And then you want to know what else? Her research assistant, this girl named Barbara Barlothic, who I always recommend people in spaces because she researched a lot of the like meth UFO connection, which like they're, you know what I mean? She was like spooked. She was the one who Karla was telling about this all to at the time, and she was spooked out, and she kind of went underground for a bit. And then when she started in like 2008, when she started speaking up again, she got in a car accident, killed her husband. Someone hit them, but there was nobody at the scene in the other car. They were going so fast that I guess they just chopped it up to like a drunk driver who ran off. But it doesn't really make sense. So, like, I think they were like in the middle of nowhere and stuff like that. So it was a very strange thing. And then she was just like, "Nope, I'm done." So Karla Turner died in a weird way. Her research assistant, her husband died in a weird way.
This is crazy. We're gonna have to do a whole episode on Karla Turner. We have to.
Oh, for sure.
This is fucking nuts, dude. And this isn't the only time you can hear her talk. She wrote a book called Taken, right? And this was a lot of this is a compilation of hundreds of UFO abduction stories. So there's a lot more than 10 facts about these things that she could pull from. So definitely check her out. Karla Turner. All right, now guys, to end the show off, it's been a great show, by the way. We're gonna this one hits a little close to home. This death is a little more recent. And we have people in the community who are divided, but also we're her friend. And up next, we're talking about Amy Eskridge. Amy Eskridge, she was looking into some stuff. Red, why don't you give us the rundown? What do we know about Amy?
Okay, so I'll just say this. She was looking into anti-gravity stuff, right? And she was down in Huntsville, Alabama. Her dad is affiliated with NASA. I will say this, though. Jeremy Reese, he recently was like, none of you guys even knew her, or you're trying to make her out to be some martyr. She was, what is it? She was like mentally unwell, and I legitimately think she did kill herself. But mind you, we also have stuff from Frank Milburn, friend of the show, who was close with her at the time, who's saying, no, she was getting like psychotronically attacked.
I've heard this.
And saying she was getting harassed. And even her boyfriend, Mark, who's friends with
Mark
Jeremy
Sokol.
still. Yeah, he says that, like, no, dude, something weird was happening around the time she died. Like, what did he say? You were in a stream with him.
Yes, randomly, I find myself in a stream, and I don't know the guy, but we're talking for a little while with Jeremy, and then they bring up this idea of like chainmail mesh, silver chainmail they have to wear to protect themselves from radio waves while they're doing certain experiments. And then it came up that they were like that it might protect from being psychotronically attacked, and that's happened before. And they start to talk about Amy Eskridge being over in Mark's lab and them looking out and seeing a van parked outside that's never been there before with a device aimed at the lab. And they're like, the fuck, dude? Like, so I also had Frank Milburn, like very shortly after Amy passed away, pop into a Spaces of mine. I used to host Spaces often, right? Every day, multiple times a day, UFO Spaces. And Frank popped into one, and he started pouring his heart out about this case. And I just didn't know enough about it. I let him talk. But then he started talking about how suspicious the death was. And I'm telling you, like I was not prepared for that conversation. And since then, it's only gained more and more momentum and more attention because what we know about psychotronic attacks and voice-to-skull technology is it doesn't present itself always in a way that is totally discernible from what we would call paranoid schizophrenia, right? Because we're not in there. We don't know. But there's these things that can happen when you're getting psychotronically attacked, things like dopamine dumps. It's not just voices, they're controlling the chemical balances of what you're going through, how you're interpreting information, how you express that information. So it could be very oppressive and terrifying and terrible. And what Amy started to say was, I mean, it seemed like she was getting instructions, almost suggestions about, I don't want to say the word, and I don't want to get us banned, but like, to unalive herself. Very scary. Should we let this audio play?
But real quick, I want to just reiterate too that alien scientist says he thinks she killed herself.
Yeah.
Her family says that. But also Frank Milburn and other people say that she didn't. Also want to highlight what Dorian Cooney said. From what I was hearing, be careful digging too deep into her case. Not sure what that means, but thought I'd mention it. I've also heard this. I've been told don't do a video about Havana syndrome just yet, because that shit gets really weird. Like, this is an active thing, right? I mean, this happened 3 years ago?
Yeah.
All right, let's
okay. An offline computer right here. Super fucking sensitive fucking shit for the past several days. With this window right here to my right, and that window door right there to my left. And my hands have been burned to hell and back as I've been typing.
They're so red.
Because you can beam me through there and through there. And you can get a 3D image of what I'm typing. Because this computer doesn't have a Wi-Fi card. You can't hack it. But you can maybe get a 3D image of me typing. So like, we just did that. And did that as an act of pure desperation. And guess what? I feel better immediately. Like, my hands still burn because there's damage. But it's like my body relaxed when we barricaded the shit. And it was like, like relief. Like immediately. Because they're hitting me through I'm sitting here typing on this thing. Like, directed energy weapons are about harming and harassing people, but they're also sometimes surveillance mechanisms where you can't hack the computer because there's no Wi-Fi card, but you can send microwaves in to get a 3D image of me typing on the keyboard, and you can reconstruct what I'm typing by microwaving me, even though you can't hack it because there's no Wi-Fi card. That's the type of shenanigans going on right now. Like, that's the reality of, like, directed energy tools and weapons. Like, that's kind of the shit that's going on.
It's terrifying. That's terrifying. Her hands are super red.
I have your space where Frank talks about it, because we wanted him to come on, but he wasn't comfortable. But should we just listen to a little bit of it?
Yeah, why not? And this is from 2022?
Yes. Let me share my screen.
You're getting some reverb. Just heads up. You don't want to. I don't know if you have to turn them. Yeah. Little.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
My mate in the CIA.
There we go.
First person who called me. I spoke.
Y'all were in my fucking dreams last night.
Shout out to Ocean.
The last lady who was speaking, and she said, "Y'all, I love that accent so much. I love the Southern accent because it reminds me of my dear departed friend Amy Eskridge, because she always used to go, how y'all doing?"
You gotta love that Southern draw for sure. And rest in peace, Amy.
Well,
Your friend.
There's me lost his shit.
Canadian, y'all. Hey, you hear me? Hey there, buddy, bye.
You're Canadian, okay? Sorry, I didn't know that Canadians said y'all.
That's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry at all. I mean, being Canadian, you're kind of like half Brit, or is that very presumptuous?
We're of all flavors, and my favorite thing to say is, like, some Canadians just don't know they're Canadian yet.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
Because
I have it times.
we're of all
At the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, training to be an officer, I again pledged my allegiance to Her Majesty the Queen. So your oath automatically passes to the next person in line. But I just wanted to send a big love to all my Canadian friends, especially because I know, okay, you're not all monarchists, but you know, the Queen was there.
Give her some props.
Are you still glitching, Logan? What's going?
Where I am, I see.
How far north are you?
Northern Lights.
Lots of Canada chat.
It's coming up. It's coming up right now.
Color, but so now I'm like low key. Look.
Hey, Frank, what happened to Amy? How did she pass away?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Yeah, because I can't figure it out.
She was murdered.
That checks out.
Yeah, it's kind of a sore point, mate.
Damn.
She was murdered for her work on free energy. She was a brilliant mind. She was an expert on free energy, the extraction from the ether of basically free energy, but also massively aware. Can everybody hear me okay?
You sound good, Frank.
Yeah, she was murdered. For the 5 weeks leading up to her death, she said to me, I'm being harassed, I'm being this and that, and she had been for a year. And I'd logged all those events, and I logged 4 other scientists that she was involved with, and they'd all been harassed as well and subject to directed energy weapon attacks. And in the 5 weeks leading up to her death, she was like, well, if you hear that, you know, I've committed suicide, it wasn't a suicide. And then when I was called by my mate in the CIA, who was the first person who called me, I spoke to her on the Friday night, late Friday night, Saturday morning, early, because I let my cats out really early. I woke up at like 0500, 05600, or 0600. I turned on my phone, and my first message was from a CIA buddy, and he said, it looks like they're saying Amy has committed suicide. He goes, but we, as in we in the agency, were treating it as a homicide.
Dude, that's dark. I apologize. Sorry for your loss. That's incredible.
Well, I'm sorry for her family's loss. I mean, look, I never met Amy, but we were in contact for a year, and we ended up speaking.
The guy just said that his friend was murdered, and I sound like he talked about a science fair. I really didn't get what was happening. It was so much information, and I did not know. I didn't know that other people knew Amy at all either. So it was like, wait, like Logan knows Amy? Like, what the hell's going on? One of the strangest experiences in spaces, and to have it, I've heard this space be played in other people's other spaces too. Like, this is crazy. That started to look into Amy, and it's just weird to hear it back. You know, weird to hear it back because he's so raw. And he's like, yeah, I think she was murdered. He says that a guy from the CIA said that they're treating it as a homicide. Do you think Frank has connections to the CIA? Is he in the position to have that?
Probably, but maybe
Yeah, right.
like not like super hardcore. Yeah. Ben Overage says she was also recovering from substance abuse. I think Jeremy Reese says that too. But we'll save like this one. Maybe we'll do a whole episode about her where we could listen to, because he goes on for a little bit. But let's get back to what she was saying.
Yeah. We got. I love when we press the button at the same time.
Right.
Bingo. Okay, so this
there is like
new clip. Plus, on the
really
right hand
super-
side, you can see some of her statements. We'll go over those in just a second if you guys can't read it.
So yeah, I guess we'll listen to it first. Then
there is like a really super disturbing, and like I would probably have a panic attack if I saw it. But there's like a really super disturbingly huge, shockingly huge pile of intel on me personally that these people are using against me. Like they know more about me than maybe I do. It's really bad. It's really bad. They like know my nicknames, and they know like phrases that are significant to me existentially, and they know my friends. They're lurking in the accounts of like all my friends, because they tweet me from my friends' accounts all the time with malware. They're just lurking there, and like, it's bad. You should thoroughly understand the situation before you step into it, because I like dove headfirst into the rabbit hole, and I will admit I did it on purpose. I did. I totally did. I dove into the rabbit hole headfirst 100% on purpose. Did I understand what I was doing? Absolutely not.
You know,
yeah.
Here's what I think. Arden asked me this a while back. She said, and this is in the chat, what do I think would happen? And if I had to, if I had to make a call on it, I would say that she was being attacked, and that the suicide, while might not be a murder, the things that I've heard by like trusted people of the topic that these attacks can do to a person might drive someone to suicide. So there's that. I also, at the risk of, no, there's no risk. I also feel a kinship to what she's saying about people collecting data on her. I thought that was happening to me too, and I wanted to convince myself that that wasn't. And then we have events like Whistleblower Mike come forward and say, Sam, word for word, this is what he said. Sam, there are multiple groups who are collecting so much information on you, you have no idea. They might know things about you that you don't know about yourself. Multiple groups. And then we see that information being weaponized. Now, I'm not doing any research that she's doing, and I just started streaming. I'm not saying at all that I'm at risk for anything like this, but the groups do exist that sneak into your friends' circles and then start to try to, get into your life too. My brother has had things texted and sent to him. His children have been weaponized. Photos of my other nieces and nephews, my kids, have been used to create accounts that are then used to intimidate me from me talking about certain topics. All of these tactics are very real, and they happen to me, and they've been documented. And I'm not saying this as a person who's like, oh, woe is me. The stuff that she's talking about just in this clip, seems, and what sucks too is I'm seeing her say it and then say it knowing that no one's going to believe what she's talking about. She has to kind of like, laugh at it to take away the edge, the harshness of it. She has to diminish it as she's talking because she knows that it sounds crazy. Now, like, is there a connection between what happened to me and her? I don't think so at all. But that means that there are groups out there. And another credible person who is a victim of voice to skull, Havana syndrome style technology and attacks is a man named Len Bear, who went on Danny Jones' podcast a while back with a man named Robert Duncan. And Len Bear is a victim of this style attacks, and he talked about what it did. And then Robert Duncan backed him up with the science and the receipts that the government has these patents to do these things. And they've used them before, and it's been reported. And what he described, Len Bear, as a victim of this, what he described was the voices of his brother, his sister-in-law, his dad, his uncle, his mom, being pumped into his head 24/7, ridiculing his choices. Now, to a weak person, that could drive someone to suicide. That could drive someone to madness. That could drive someone to harm themselves to stop that sound, that voice. But they can't stop it because a microwave is being shot into their skull, and their brain is vibrating with micro pulses to create sound waves, and they are literally coming from inside your head. Now they can, and this is according to the research of Robert Duncan, now they can find white noise that's happening in your house, the fan, the refrigerator, your TV, some weird buzz, and they could attach a sound wave to that, and then just through the sound of your toaster fucking make you think you're hearing things. And the fucked up thing is that you are hearing things. So here's the deal. Is there any medical evidence, physical evidence that these attacks are happening to someone? Yes. Yes, there is. It's brain damage. That's why Gary Nolan was able to separate the Havana Syndrome group that he was studying with Kit Green and the alien encounter group. He was able to separate them because one was real damage and one was another thing. This caudate putamen blasting off, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But that other group, he was able to separate it because it was real damage. Because you cause brain damage when you pump microwaves into someone's skull and vibrate the shit out of their brain to produce sound waves that are basically just derogatory statements like, you suck, you fucking suck, you shouldn't have done that, you're a loser. Imagine you hear your parent, the voice of your parent.
Let me read some of this now because it's that, right? And also, real quick before we do that, some of the comments are like, you shouldn't be covering this, her family doesn't like it. And that's honestly why we said that. We informed you guys, like, her family does not, you know what I mean? Jeremy Reese, we said, thinks she legitimately committed suicide. We're presenting you all the things here, but Frank Milburn, and we're about to read here by her own word, she literally says, if you see her, well, let me just read it then. So this is May 13th. Oh, by the way, if you see any report that I killed myself, I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I overdosed myself, I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I killed anyone else, I most definitely did not. Who does that sound like? Does that ring a bell?
It sounds exactly like the statement that Elizondo gave to the Good Trouble show.
Right? Yes, exactly the same. Very interesting. Just like Bishop most definitely did not kill Maria and Gopi and Adriel, just like McClandish sure as F did not blow his own head off. That's Michael McClandlish, right? That's a free energy guy.
What?
I think that's who she's talking about. I don't know for sure though. The dominoes are being lined up all over again now. It's like God. I mean, I've recently heard confirmation that there were new GRU units that have been running around town since shortly before the Ukraine thing and causing mayhem. But I really didn't need confirmation of that because they had already burnt the shit out of my skin with second-degree burns and freaking melted the window blinds to do it in early February, which I have many pictures of. I pretty much always see this type of stuff well before anyone else mentions it. I could have told anyone that there were obviously new units in town if anyone had asked me. And I could have described their recent tactics in great detail well before anyone else knew, because I pretty much always get hit by the first wave of it. But this new thing they have been doing is the creepiest stuff I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot considering what I've seen. It's a shitload of anonymous messages offering advice on how to kill myself at night while I'm in bed myself, phrased as these crazy, creepy rhymes. Real quick too, but while I'm reading this, can you pull up that Glenn Bear thing? Because don't you have like an edited version of it, just like that part where he's saying like, or no?
I'll look. Keep talking. I'll look.
Offering advice on how to kill myself at night while I'm in my bed by myself, phrased as these crazy, creepy rhymes like, take your pills and overdose and this will go away. Take your pills and overdose and it will be okay. Like creepy nursery rhymes about how to kill myself. God damn it, it's the creepiest stuff ever. It's progressed from creepy rhyming advice on how to kill myself to eventually morphing into other crazy messages that were clearly trying to lure me out of the house at night. Like, I'm right out here, come out to the front door, open it, walk past the pool, I'm in the barn, come out to the barn and find me. Creepy ass stuff. Creepiest stuff ever. I've lived through some crazy Mossad level psyops. I've had my detailed medical records quoted to my face. This new stuff is the creepiest stuff ever. Like, what would I effing find if I was stupid enough to walk out to the barn in the middle of the night just because some anonymous a-hole asked me to? F no, I'm not going out there. Stop asking. And asking me to come out to the barn, how the cameras are currently set up, you'd see footage of me walking out to the barn by myself. You would not see anyone approaching the barn from the back. There would just be footage of me walking out there by myself on the camera, and then maybe my parents would find me hanging from the rafters in the morning. God damn it, I'm not going out there, no matter how many times you send me messages baiting me to. It's the creepiest stuff I've ever experienced. She says, let me see. Stop asking me to, god darn it. I don't know, it's maybe the groundwork to frame a suicide. Just like McClandlish. Oh wait, you can't. He's dead of supposed suicide. He was emailing me shortly before he died because we had both independently come to a lot of the same conclusions. Then he was dead. I'd love to know if he was being creepily taunted to kill himself before then too. So that's pretty interesting.
Oh my God. Okay, here's this clip. God, this...
First developed this syndrome. What was happening? What were you doing? You were a civilian. You weren't working in the government.
Oh, we're just getting started.
Yeah, and Mark McCandlish is the Hunt for Zero Point guy. He apparently died suspiciously in 2021.
Check this out. We might get flagged for this.
This video made by the man who opened fire at Florida State University.
In Project Soulcatch, I referred to a Myron May as a psycho bomb. They didn't care who the target was. They were just trying to make him explode and do something bad. He was a lawyer trained there. His reasoning why he shot up the school was he needed news publicity to make sure people understood this was real. And he left the video testimony.
As sick as this may sound, I've even had stalkers follow me into church.
He believed government stalkers were harassing him and using a direct energy weapon to hurt him.
But he gave out 7 packages in the mail, and the FBI intercepted them all.
What were in these packages?
Just information. Just information.
May then opened fire at an FSU library, wounding 3 people. He was killed in a shootout with police.
Go to Danny Jones' podcast on YouTube. Look for Len Bear and Robert Duncan. You'll find the full interview there. And it's terrifying.
Little Pop Tart says Mark McCandlish was a career whistleblower from the 2001 Disclosure Project.
Look at the big brains on Little Pop Tart and McCandlish. R.I.P. Red. This topic is deep. We try. I mean, I thought we treaded very respectfully and lightly on the Amy Eskridge thing, as we prefaced before we started it. It's recent. It's close to a lot of people in the community. It's divided some people in the community. I personally believe that with more information that comes out about voice-to-skull technology and these methods that people are being attacked with, I think the more information that comes out, the more we're going to start to spot and identify actual victims of these types of clandestine. Is that a word? What's the word? What does that even mean? These types of different attacks on our own citizens. Something's happening. And the Havana syndrome epidemic and studies and research and focus and the attention that it's getting is because of this stuff. I'm not here to say that this person or that person was attacked this way, or this suicide or that death is a case of this. But I do think that without the proper information about what kinds of technologies are out there that could do something like this, we can't say one way or the other. And if there are alarm bells rang by the victim themselves right now with more information, it's worth looking into. My jaw was on the fucking floor when I watched that interview of Len Bear and Robert Duncan on the Danny Jones Concrete podcast. Go watch it now. Go watch it today. Go watch it today and then re-examine some of these cases and tell me what the hells you think is going on. Because I think Gary Nolan, Kit Green, and the Stanford Institute are going to have a lot to answer for in the coming years based on the types of things that are being done.
Damn, I'm not saying that.
No, I absolutely 100% fucking know for sure that I'm not saying that the Stanford Research Institute is responsible for any of these attacks. I think the technology built off the study of these groups and these things, I think that they were aware of the vulnerabilities that people had for a long time.
Okay, that's better. I was gonna say, and yeah, like I've been making videos for like 4 or 5 years now, and this subject of Amy Eskridge and the whole Havana attack stuff was the only one where people told me like, I wouldn't do that for your own safety.
I remember when you told me about that, and I'm like,
right, yeah, that was before any like Skyfire, before any KMF stuff. That was like a few years back.
If you guys want to watch a really in-depth segment on this, check out the Lex Fridman interview with Gary Nolan. And if you want, I might stream that interview or react to it on my Tupacabra channel, because I gotta start streaming on that thing again. But and it's very niche. But definitely check that out. Go watch it. Learn something. I hope you guys learned something tonight. Red, I love this kind of show. I love tonight's show. What do you think? I mean, I know it ended on a somber note, but I mean, we did pretty good.
No Name UFO says respect the dead, and again, she's literally saying if they say I killed myself, I didn't. Isn't that like respecting her? But also, I will say, like what No Name UFO said, I do appreciate if you were hearing voices and stuff like that, you kind of always want to go check with the
always.
Go to a doctor, get that checked out, check
Yes.
all the bases first.
Yes, mental health is a real thing. Go talk to somebody. You know what I mean? Just because you're having an experience like this or a negative one doesn't mean you should jump to the conclusion that you're being psychotronically attacked. I mean, Amy and other people who are claiming this, you know, they're connected to some of this research. They have a reason to suspect it. But, you know, this could happen to anyone. And also, the first line of defense, right, is yourself. Go get checked out. Don't be afraid. Go talk
And
to
we have
somebody.
multiple data points known in UFO. It's not just Frank Milburn. We have Tupa literally talked to Mark, who was her boyfriend at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Who was also experiencing these same attacks. You know what I mean?
It's just
I don't
something.
think he seems like any kind of drugs.
Yeah, no, they seem
like beyond weed or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little high right now. But we're going to continue to look into it. You guys do your own research on this. We encourage it. You know, handle with care. There are people in the community who knew some of these people, right? Respect that. And we hope to see you guys. Tomorrow's show is going to be another super lit show, super important, I think. We might do bangers all week. But for tonight, I'm glad you guys were able to join us for this topic. Dark at the end, but these, I mean, that makes it a true what the F moment. And
they're not covering it up because it's rainbows and butterflies with rainbows and butterflies.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Some of this stuff is very dark. Very dark. We want to give a shout out to our new mod, Arden Paranormal. Thank you for being here. All the members and all the viewers and the people in the chat, thank you guys for being here.
Logan, a little pop chart with the facts, and Kent.
Yes.
UFO keeping us grounded. Like, we love everyone here. We want all the Ben over Rich. We like hearing that side too, because it's a weird subject for sure.
It is, and we got to have pushback. Healthy pushback is good, unless of course your name is Lou Reviews, in which case you might just be a little bit of a hater.
I hate Skyfire News. I hate Tupacabra. I fucking hate Red Panda, and I hate Heather. Like, I genuinely hate them. I hate Skyfire News.
Just a Heather honorable mention in there. I fucking Lou. Get the gang back together. UCR, bring him on the show. Let's do a reunion. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. Red, I think that's the show.
That's the show. Peace out. See y'all tomorrow.
Peace out. We'll leave you guys with some music because we didn't get a chance to play it in the beginning. Again, this was Skyfire News with What the F Ufology Moments. Until next time.
Skyfire News got your back, babe. WTF, these are WTF moments from the study of UFOs with Skyfire News. Yeah, we got mysterious deaths, people died in real ways while looking and attacking aliens and alien tech. Strange statements made by government insiders that made us scratch our heads before you go to bed. Watch Skyfire News. Hey, and look at these unbelievable encounters with aliens and UFOs. What you don't know can hurt you. Better turn on Skyfire News and save y'all. Ufology, let's go over there. Skyfire News got you.
We was chopping down trees in an Arizona forest, cutting off the sleeves of my work shirt. It was too hot to breathe and I wasn't going for it. We hit the road looking for a cheap skirt. And on that road we saw a light coming up the mountain. I got out the truck without a fight. The other guys kept shouting, Travis, don't go to that flying saucer floating there. Travis, Travis, you fucking idiot, are you blind, do you care? That there's a spaceship right above us and you don't seem to question. And they took Travis walking into another dimension. Travis, where'd you go? We wanna know because the whole town thinks we killed you, but we didn't kill you. Ooh. And now we're strapped to a polygraph and we don't know what to do. We can't leave the state line and our crime we're locked down good. We drew the saucer perfect, but I don't think the sheriff understood that on that road we saw a light coming up the mountain. He got out the truck without a fight, and we all kept shouting, Travis, don't go to that flying saucer floating there. Travis, you big idiot, don't you care that there's a spaceship right above us and you don't seem to question? And then they took Travis walking into another dimension. Travis, where'd you go?